Part 1. Do you know your neighbors well?
Yes, I know my neighbors quite well. We often greet each other, and sometimes we have casual conversations when we meet in the hallway or at community events. It's comforting to have friendly neighbors.
How often do you interact with your neighbors?
I interact with them occasionally, maybe a few times a week. Sometimes it's just a quick hello, but on special occasions like festivals or neighborhood gatherings, we have longer conversations.
What do you like about your neighborhood?
I really like how peaceful and clean my neighborhood is. It has plenty of green spaces, and the community feels very welcoming and safe.
Are there any improvements you would like to see in your neighborhood?
Yes, I think better public transportation would be a great improvement. Although the area is wonderful, commuting to other parts of the city can be a bit challenging.
Do you think it's important to have a good relationship with your neighbors?
Absolutely. A good relationship with neighbors fosters a sense of community and mutual support. In emergencies or even everyday situations, it's helpful to have people around you who you can rely on.
Part 2. Describe a neighbor you like. You should say who the neighbor is, how you know them, what you like about them, and explain why you think they are a good neighbor.
One of my favorite neighbors is a woman named Mrs. Parker, who lives just next door. I've known her for about 5 years since I moved into this neighborhood. Mrs. Parker is incredibly kind and approachable. She's always willing to lend a hand whenever someone needs help, whether it's watering plants during vacations or sharing advice on community matters. One thing I truly admire is her generosity. She often bakes cookies and shares them with the neighbors. What makes her a great neighbor is her warm personality and willingness to connect with everyone. She also organizes small events like potlucks, which help bring the community closer together. I think she's an amazing neighbor because she truly cares about fostering a friendly and supportive environment in our neighborhood. People like her make the place feel like home.
Part 3. Do you think neighbors are as important now as they were in the past?
I think neighbors are still important, but the nature of relationships has changed. In the past, people relied heavily on their neighbors for support and social interaction. Today, with busy lifestyles and digital communication, people may not interact as frequently, but good neighbors are still valuable.
How can people build good relationships with their neighbors?
People can build good relationships by being friendly, respectful, and approachable. Simple gestures like greeting them, helping during emergencies, or participating in community events can go a long way in fostering good relationships.
What are some common problems between neighbors?
Common problems often include noise disturbances, parking issues, or disagreements over shared spaces. Miscommunication can also lead to conflicts, but these can usually be resolved through open dialogue.
Do you think the government should promote community building in neighborhoods?
Yes, the government can play a role by organizing events or creating public spaces where neighbors can interact. Initiatives like community centers or cultural festivals encourage people to connect and strengthen their sense of belonging.
How has urbanization affected neighborhood relationships?
Urbanization has made neighborhoods more crowded, and people often have less time to interact due to their busy schedules. Additionally, with high-rise apartments, people may not even know who their neighbors are. However, modern technology, like neighborhood apps, is helping to bridge this gap in some ways.